Hello everybody, welcome to 0 Mile ADV, a beginner's guide to adventure motorcycling. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things I wish I had as a brand new rider to help me get more comfortable with my adventure bike. Number one is just the ability to be able to ride with other people. I live in a small town on the western slope of Colorado. There's a decent amount of people here, but I don't have any friends out here that live near my area and ride motorcycles. So it would have been great if there were some local organizations or clubs that I could have been a part of that especially would have been more welcoming to new riders. If you haven't seen my video on the good, bad, and ugly of my first group ride, check that out here. I talk a lot about what it was like to go on my first adventure motorcycle ride. Definitely really wasn't beginner friendly and definitely was more geared toward more experienced rider. And so that kind of chapped my hide a little bit, if not at all what I expected. I tried to be prepared and it just turned out to be kind of a rough experience. And I also learned a little bit that the adventure motorcycling culture seems to have a little bit of its own like elitist mentality with a lot of people as well, and sometimes can be a little off-putting to beginners. So it would have been great to have an organization that was just open to new riders in my area to help me get more comfortable with the bike and give me an opportunity to kind of grow and build a community of people around adventure motorcycling. Item number 2 is continued education. I wish I had an opportunity to take more classes. With that being said, there are a lot of classes, but you have to live near a major city, so it's tougher when you're in a town that's 250,000 people. There aren't just as many options. In fact, there's only one MSF course that's actually hosted by the local Harley dealer here, and that's your only option. There are some adventure-specific courses out near Moab and in Utah, which aren't too far from here, but they're rather expensive. So unless you have an extra $5,000 to spend and can take 3 days off of work, it's really hard to get some education. I wish that there were more 200 level MSF courses. It would be great to be able to bring your own bike to and practice a lot of those drills and just get more education. I'm really thankful for Moto Jitsu's channel. He does a great job, especially helping new riders like us better understand some things that we need to know to be safer on the road and how to better handle our motorcycles. I just wish there was something here I could have taken. I love the MSF course. I had so much fun with it. It made me really excited for motorcycling in general. And so I just wish there was kind of something in that next level. On a side note, I also wish that there was a track course. I think there's one in Denver, but I would have loved to have been able to like rent a sport bike and get some like track training and learn how to like really lean in the bike and stuff. That would have been awesome. Number 3 is just a better way to navigate all the gear selection. With me, I pretty much went with the climb stuff. The few people I talked to at a couple different dealerships, they all recommended it. It was kind of seemed the go-to stuff. Now I'm not gonna lie, their stuff's not cheap, but the warranty seems to be really good and everybody I talked to really raved about it. In the cycling and outdoor sports world, there are a lot of other sites you can go to, from review sites to retail stores, etc., that just give you a lot of great articles and understanding of the different types of gear, some pros and cons, and maybe some gear you should look at. Still to this day, I'm still trying to figure out what are some other options besides Climb, but there's got to be other brands out there. And so number 4 kind of continues on that line. I wish there was more online retail options for gear and accessories. It seems like there are the boutique brands like Touratech and SW Motec, which sells accessories for the bikes. But when it comes to the gear that you need, it kind of seems like the go-to place is Revzilla. It appears to kind of be like the one go-to location. I work in technology, own a technology company. I know how to use Google and search for other options, and I'm just not coming across a lot of other great stores that are here in the US. If you're in Europe, there appears to be some other good options for you, but it just doesn't seem like there are a whole lot of choices. Coming from a cycling background and an adventure sports background, like with backcountry skiing, regular resort skiing, mountain biking, gravel bike riding, road bike riding, there are a lot of options. I mean, you have backcountry.com, Competitive Cyclist, Jensen USA. I mean, the list goes on of different RNA cycles. I mean, there's a whole slew of online retail stores that not only give you some different brands that you can potentially look at, but maybe some competitive options, more reviews. It gives you just a wider breadth of things to search out. I'm having a harder time finding that specifically in motorcycling in general, and specifically adventure motorcycle riding. So number 4, I wish there was some more online retail locations, but for now, hold that as a maybe because I'm still doing some more research. And I would love for you guys to leave some comments below and let me know of some of your favorite online retail stores that you go to look for all your motorcycle gear. And last but not least is just great places to ride. If you're anything like me, you know, once you get your bike, you want to go for a ride, but don't make the mistake I did and buy a Butler map and think that like, oh, I'm going to be able to go do these routes. It turns out that the backcountry discovery routes are a little bit more technical, and you probably need to be on your bike for a little while and be really comfortable with it, and not great beginner routes. So number 5 for me is just a better resource on great places to ride in your area. RevZilla actually has an app that I downloaded, and it seemed kind of worthless. I didn't see a whole lot of great rides. People upload rides. It seems like they're trying to do like the Strava of motorcycling, but it just doesn't have the following yet. So maybe that will get there. I think there's an overlanding app that might be helpful, but I would have just loved a great place to go where I can talk about some cool routes in your area to explore. So I end up using things like gravelmaps.com, which I've used to find routes for my gravel bike, to find dirt roads to go explore on and have fun, etc. So number 5 would just been a better resource on great places to explore as a beginner and get comfortable on my motorcycle. So with that being said, if you've stayed this long, I really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified every week when the video comes out, it'd be really helpful in me building my channel. And I would love to learn from you. What were some of the top 5 things you learned or wish you had to help you get more comfortable with your adventure bike? So go ahead and leave those in the comments below. And until next time, stay safe out there.